In 2021, a man named Daniel Carter bought a cheap house on Greyvine Road, a quiet rural street just outside Ashford, Kentucky. The house had been abandoned for almost 18 years. Locals warned him not to buy it. Some said the place was cursed. Others said something still lived inside it. Daniel didn't believe in stories, but he should have listened.
The house looked normal from a distance, just old and forgotten. But up close, it felt wrong. The windows were boarded from the inside, the grass was dead in a perfect circle around the house, and the front door had deep scratch marks, as if something had tried to get out. Inside, the air felt heavy, like breathing through wet cloth. Dust covered everything, except the floor, where fresh footprints led down the hallway. Footprints too long and too narrow to be human. Daniel tried to ignore the unease. He told himself, old houses make noises. Old houses shift. Old houses remember. On the first night, Daniel heard footsteps in the attic. Slow, dragging, heavy. But when he opened the attic door, the smell hit him first. Rotting wood, wet earth, and something metallic, like old blood. The attic was empty, except for one thing. In the far corner, scratched into the wood, were words. Don't let him in. Behind the house was a small private graveyard, 5 crooked headstones, names almost faded away, except one. Catherine Linden, died 1984. Corey Linden, died 1984. Unknown child, died 1984. Daniel noticed something strange. The dirt around the last grave looked recently disturbed, as if someone had been digging. That night, dogs in the neighborhood barked toward Daniel's property for hours without stopping, all of them staring in one direction, the graveyard. Daniel began hearing noises inside the walls. Soft tapping at first, then scratching, then whispers. He pushed his ear to the drywall and froze, because the whispers were on the other side, right against him. A voice, low and shaking, said, "Let me out, please, let me out." Daniel ripped open part of the wall with a hammer. Behind it was a narrow passage leading down, deeper into the house than any blueprint showed. He felt a cold breath behind him, but when he turned, nothing was there. The whisper came again, this time right behind his neck. "Let me out. He's coming." The passage led to a hidden basement. A single light bulb swung from the ceiling as if someone had just touched it. In the center of the room was a child's bed, rusted, burned on one side. On the wall, drawn in thick black charcoal, was a stick figure with long arms, no face, and hands shaped like hooks. Beneath it was a sentence. "He lives in the space between breaths." The temperature dropped. Daniel's breath turned white, and something moved in the corner. A shape shifting in the dark, taller than any person, rising slowly from the shadows. Daniel ran. The scraping of metal followed him up the stairs. He drove straight to the nearest gas station. Inside, an old man looked at him and sighed. "You must be the one who bought the Linden house." Daniel nodded. The old man shook his head. "They didn't die in that house. They were taken." Daniel asked, "Taken by who?" The old man's eyes drifted toward the woods. Not who, what. Something that lives between rooms, between walls, between night and morning. It took the family in '84, and it takes anyone who sleeps there. Daniel felt sick. So what do I do? The old man whispered. If you heard it speak, it's already inside you.
Daniel returned to the house to grab his belongings, but something was different. The front door was wide open, lights flickered inside, and a tall shadow stood in the hallway, arms too long, head tilted, breathing slow and ragged. It whispered with Daniel's own voice, "You're home."
3 days later, neighbors called police after seeing Daniel's truck still in the driveway. Officers entered the house. It was empty, but in the hidden basement, fresh words were scratched into the wall. "I let him in," and the grave of the unknown child looked freshly dug again.